You've chosen the perfect garage door color, spent a fortune on installation, and it looks amazing for now. But there's a hidden enemy silently attacking your curb appeal, which is the sun. In just a few years, your vibrant new garage door could look dull, faded, and nothing like you imagined. But what if I told you there's a secret to making your garage door color last for decades? And it all comes down to one simple overlooked factor. Let's party. Okay, so we just replaced this homeowner's garage door. We went from a very old style door to this CHI classic wood grain look with obscure windows, Madison design. This is basically a vinyl back or poly back garage door, but the color of the door is what really makes it pop. It matches the front door of the home. You can check that out right there. Tell me what you think. I think it's pretty awesome. In fact, when we were installing this garage door, the idea was basically trying to find a look that was going to match the entire look of the home. And the customer wanted this grainy, or not grainy, but this wood-like look, this dark color, classic wood grain that kind of just gives the home a little bit more appeal. Like if you went down to this community, you would basically see a lot of cookie cutter doors, a lot of white doors, and they all have short panel, long panel design. Of course, this is a long panel design. Nevertheless, I do feel that this is a lot more appealing, a lot more attractive for the entire motif, for the entire design of the home. Now, just kind of highlighting something here, and you can probably already deduce that that sun is beating down right here. We are facing, the garage door is facing east, and if you garage door guys know your stuff, you know that anywhere from an east, south, west door, yeah, the sun is just going to beat down and saturate on a door color like this. I did mention that to the homeowner, and I just basically wanted to highlight to them that when you are looking at a door like this, you run into, I would say a few years down the road, you run into that risk. And they're completely aware of it. They were perfectly fine with it. They care more about how the door was going to enhance their home. And, you know, who am I to argue with the customer, right? So provided them all the options, but the reality is that if you do have an east-south-west door, you run that risk. Now, if you have a north-facing door, you don't have that challenge. And whenever I find a home that has a north-facing garage door, I definitely almost always try to recommend a darker door. Now, before considering looking at any type of color swatches or anything like that, come out to your home and actually take a look at your garage door position. See how it's positioned relative to the sun. For example, this garage door is facing west, and we know that the sun is just beaten down on this white door. It's clear that this white door has stood this test of time because it still has a nice solid white color. Now, was it whiter when it was installed? Absolutely. And we also want to take into account that sometimes our garage door just needs a little TLC, little soap and water just to wipe it down. It's going to make it look a lot better. Nevertheless, if I'm being honest, it's being able to understand where your property, where your garage door is positioned to the sun, that will help you to determine and make a good decision on whether you're going to go with a colored, or I should say, a dark colored, or perhaps maybe one of those specialty color garage doors, or if you're going to stay with a lighter color door. Now, with that being said, most garage door guys can offer a sample of sorts to be able to show you what a garage door color would look like. I do have a specific garage door sample section that I utilize sometimes to take to my customers' properties to be able to show them what the garage door color would look like. And I do highlight that it's just a representation. That is, it's not an exact look. There's always going to be variances, little nuances to the garage door that will make it look different just on the home. So a sample, a swatch, an example is still not going to represent completely what the door will look like onto the home. So when you are choosing a color for your garage door, you want to make sure that it harmonizes with the entire home, with the facade of the home. I like how Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door emphasizes that the garage door is the smile to the home. And that makes complete sense because it's what you actually see as you drive up to your garage. So you definitely don't want to hate the color of your garage door after a few years. Now, granted, it can be painted, Nevertheless, again, that paint, that darker look will simply fade. It's natural. It even happens to our vehicles. It happens to a number of things that are exposed to the sun. So it's a trade-off. What would you rather do? Would you rather invest the money in getting just simply a light color door, knowing that you'll be able to probably change the color or brighten up the color later down the road? Or do you trade that off for going with a darker door, knowing and recognizing that you're going to benefit from that darker look for a few years, but early down the road, you're going to have to invest money into changing the color or heightening the color or making it look darker? It is a decision that you really want to consider. And of course, if it's not something that you're bothered by, if you don't care about the look later down the road, then that's perfectly fine. I tend to be a little bit more practical, and when I talk to my customers, I provide that practicality for them. It just gives them the opportunity to be able to think of the other side of the coin. Now, when I used to send quotes to my customers, I was never really sure if they understood the challenges of having a darker garage door. But now that's all changed with Jobber, and Jobber makes it really easy that when I do send quotes, I'm able to provide a picture and a representation of that garage door. And this is a really nice feature in my opinion, because whenever I'm working with a customer, I want them to understand that that garage door is going to serve a specific purpose. The color of the garage door, the design to the windows, even the tint to the windows, the actual window design, I want them to be able to get a grasp of it. Even though they're not able to see it, touch it, or feel it, this is still a better way to be able to give them options when considering a garage door system. And I love the fact that Jobber is able to include these pictures when I do send my quotes out. It seems very professional. It gives them the opportunity to be able to, again, just to have a visual representation. And truth be told, I think they fall in love with the new garage door system just by seeing the possibilities of what this new garage door color would look like on their home. So if you're interested in utilizing Jobber for your home service business, there's a link down below. You can definitely check them out. But it's one of the ways that we have upped our game when quoting our customers. Now, granted, and the takeaway that I want to be able to just emphasize is that garage door colors, of course, are just, they're subject to your preference. Even if you still have a west-facing, south-facing, or an east-facing door, you can still go with a colored garage door. It is perfectly fine. It's not a cardinal sin or anything like that. And if I'm being honest, I don't think people really care. I think when it comes to the look of a garage door, most people are going to care about how they feel whenever they drive up to their home. And that's what's most important. I always try to help my customers see the possibilities of what their garage door is going to do for the makeup of their home. And whenever a customer is just dead set on a color, dead set on a look, dead set on a specific design, even though it may not completely match the home, I don't fight them. I let them know that it's a great choice. I let them know that they're on the right path, and I give them, or I empower them with all of the options so that way they can make a better buying decision. And I think that's the point. Whenever you're considering these darker garage doors, you're definitely going to be happy for a time. Just know that later down the road, you'll definitely have to invest some money to paint it. But of course, if you are facing north, I would say go with a colored garage door. If you're not and you don't want to invest that money, stay with a lighter door, and you can definitely clean it up. You can definitely do some things to paint it. You can even paint it darker later down the road. Whatever the case being, there's so many options, and it's those options or knowing those options that are really going to make a difference. Now, of course, when you are considering a garage door, you probably also want to get a new garage door opener. And not all garage door openers are one and the same. In fact, there's one wall mount garage door that I think is completely awesome. And for me, I think it's the best wall mount garage door opener that you can get right now. So if you're interested in that video, check out that video right there. As always, I want to thank y'all for partying with me. Y'all stay safe.